West Florida's morning news source. You're watching Fox 4 Rising.
And welcome to the 6 o'clock hour of Fox 4 Rising. We've been following breaking news this morning since overnight. We start with this story out of Charlotte County. We're learning more details about a fatal accident happening on a busy road, McCall Road and Gillett Boulevard.
Florida Highway Patrol troopers confirming to Fox 4 that a 45-year-old woman was thrown from her car and was pronounced dead on the scene when emergency crews arrived. For more, let's send it right over to Alex Butler, who is live on the scene with the very latest details. Alex.
Yeah, Julian, as you said, one woman is dead this morning after her vehicle rolled over, and you can see the scene here behind me is pretty, right now they're starting to clean up just a little bit, but the vehicle that's down there is a van, and there's a lot of glass on the ground. The scene sort of making it so that they had to close off the road because it was spread across so far that the rollover area kind of spanned about 2 lanes. But right now this is westbound on the 776 road, and you can see the traffic on the left side, which is coming eastbound, is open. So if you're going eastbound on 776 around McCall, this won't affect you, but if you're going westbound around McCall, they are diverting traffic to Sailor's Way. And what we don't know is exactly how this incident occurred. We do know that she was the only person in the vehicle. There was a rollover, and she's about 45 years old. They found her dead on the scene at about 3:30 this morning. But if you take a look over this way, you can see Sailor's Way. They've closed this area off right now. They are starting to sort of clean things up, and I've started to see them remove a couple of flares, so it looks like things are starting to die down just a little bit around here as far as them cleaning up the area. But again, one woman is dead, unfortunately, after this incident when her vehicle rolled over, and the tow truck just arrived on scene, so you can see they're starting to clean up right now. They don't think it'll take too long for these roads to sort of open back up again, but right now you might want to avoid this area if you're going westbound on the 776. Of course, we'll stay out here with the very latest details and give you what you need to know about exactly how this all occurred as soon as we get them. We'll send it back to you, Arian.
All right, sounds good. Alex, it's a tough scene to look out there.
Definitely unfortunate that one woman had to lose her life.
Yeah, unfortunately. And Angie will have some more detours for you. We're following more breaking news this morning as well, as a Waffle House in Fort Myers was robbed earlier this morning. This robbery happening at the Waffle House on Daniels Parkway right before the I-75 overpass right after 3 o'clock this morning. The Lee County Sheriff's Office says they are still looking for 2 suspects they believe are responsible. We'll bring you any new information as soon as we get it.
And shifting gears just a bit, time now 6:02 this morning, and we have some sports for you. The Boston Red Sox opening up the spring training season with a game today against the other team that calls Fort Myers home for spring training, the Minnesota Twins, of course. The game today is happening at 1:05 p.m. and for all of you baseball fanatics, it doesn't end there. The Twins will host the Red Sox tomorrow at Hammond Stadium for another game, that one also at 1:05. And then Sunday, the Sox are back at JetBlue taking on the Baltimore Orioles. That game also at 1:05 p.m. See the trend there?
Yes, I'm noticing this trend here. And another team that travels down to Southwest Florida for spring training, although it's a pretty short trip, is the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays start their spring training season against those Baltimore Orioles today at 1:05 in Port Charlotte. Tomorrow they travel to Bradenton to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Sunday they're back home in Port Charlotte, taking on Jamie Cakel's Minnesota Twins at 1:05. So, Jamie, does this mean we know what you're doing at 1:05 this weekend on Sunday?
Just so happens to be my favorite baseball team down here in Southwest Florida.
There you go.
I leave one home for another, and I'm always with my Twins.
Yeah, there you go.
Strategic location you picked here right here in Southwest Florida, huh?
Yeah, it just works out that way, right? All right, here we go. We're talking weather today. We're talking about transitioning into beautiful weather. We had a lot of cloud cover yesterday. We had some rain coming in towards the dinner hour. 56 degrees, may still see a shower or two coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. But as you get to the noon hour, looking like the rain is completely done by that time, and then the skies start to clear out from north to south. We'll be into the 70s as well, and very close to our normal high for this time of year. 72 at the 5 o'clock hour. Mostly sunny, maybe some leftover lingering clouds over parts of Collier County at that time. But all in all, we will be enjoying quite a bit of sunshine throughout the afternoon. Mid-50s right now, and taking a look at the dew points, they're going to be dropping into the 40s later today. Port Charlotte at 48 right now. The majority of the rainfall is south and east of us at this time. Everything's moving west to east. May still see 1 or 2 more showers try to sneak in before the morning is over, but that would really be about it. The cloud cover, that is dropping from north to south. You can see the northern edge there up towards Orlando and Tampa, basically on I-4. That'll be dropping to the south throughout the afternoon. It'll take the better part of the day, though, to clear out all of Southwest Florida. But overall, it is just a nice clearing trend that we have for today. Leads into a gorgeous weekend. Take a look at Saturday and Sunday. Low 80s around here. Still very comfortable on Sunday. Dew points will just start to get into the 50s and into the low 60s. So looking really, really good. Here's your forecast for today. Mid-70s and looking for more and more sunshine as the afternoon wears on and a light breeze. All right, we're going to take a moment here and check out your morning commute.
All right, thanks, Jamie. 6:05 now. Taking a look at this crash, 82 and Griffin. Just checking on our websites and making calls. It's still causing some problems on 82. Going on about an hour now. Griffin and Gregory, 82 remains closed. So your alternate route is going to be Daniels Parkway to Gunnery Road. I kind of put this north on the screen for you. You can take that up to Lee Boulevard and get around this all together. That's what my recommendation is going to be. And then, of course, still monitoring our accident here, McCall and Gullett. They are rerouting people to McCall, which is otherwise known as Sailor's Way. And then you're taking 776 westbound to River Road, heading north and hitting 41. All right, and then just taking another kind of wider look at Southwest Florida, you can see everything else seems to be moving along at speed the way we like it. Our interstate's looking good, Highway 41's looking good, MLK Boulevard, Colonial Boulevard, no problems at all in Central Fort Myers, just out in Lehigh and then Port Charlotte. All right, I'll continue to monitor everything, get back to you in a few. Back to you guys.
All right, Angie, thank you very much. 6:05 right now. A death investigation is underway in Collier County after a body was discovered in a car. Employees of the Ace Hardware in Golden Gate reported a foul odor coming from the parking lot yesterday morning. Well, that's where sheriff's deputies discovered a man's body in a car. The man has not been identified, and it is not determined just how long he was in the car, and the death does not appear to be suspicious at this point. New information for you. A Southwest Florida family involved in a horrific crash with a state trooper a year ago, worried that a financial flaw in the state could leave people in similar situations broke. Crystal McClure and her family were hit by a cruiser going 90 miles an hour on I-75. She was severely injured and her unborn child was killed. The family's medical bills totaled more than $500,000, but because the state owned the cruiser they were hit by, the family could only get a maximum of $300,000. Luckily for them, the trooper involved had coverage of his own.
Since the officer was driving the car in an off-duty role, he had to have individual insurance at the same limit of the $200, $300 as the state. So we were able to get both of those policies, but it was still woefully inadequate for the injuries that they suffered.
In addition to the individual insurance from the trooper, the McClures were also able to work with Lee Memorial to lower their medical bills.
Time now 6:07. New information for you this morning. We are learning that the Environmental Protection Agency will hold a public hearing next month in Naples, which could give the green light for oil drilling in Southwest Florida. The Federal Environmental Protection Agency will take on the question of whether or not to grant the Texas-based Hughes Oil Company a permit to drill in Collier County. Neighbors living near the proposed site worry about their health and safety if it's allowed. That meeting coming up on March 11th.
6:08 now, new on Rising. Could the city of Tampa, who hosted the 2012 Republican National Convention, be interested in bringing the Democrats to town? Well, 2 years after hosting the Republican National Convention, Tampa Mayor, Bob Buckhorn has been asked if he's interested in hosting his own party in the Democratic National Convention. He received a letter from the DNC inquiring about the city's interest. The mayor of Tampa is flattered by the inquiry, but has some reservations.
I mean, I think it's a recognition that what we did during the RNC set the standard for how these should be run. The DNC puts requirements on the host city that you can't accept corporate money to put these events on. One of the reasons that we were so successful is because our committee was able to raise $50 million plus that didn't require the city to put in much money into that convention.
Well, two other Florida cities, Orlando and Miami, were also contacted to see if they'd be interested in hosting the convention. They were told to get back to the DNC by next week. So we'll see. About to be 6:09, Dunk City facing a minor setback after a shocking loss last night for the men's basketball team. The Eagles took on the Lipscomb Bisons at their home in Nashville. FGCU giving up 58 points in the first half, bringing them a big loss of 93-71. Sorry, guys, but the season isn't over just yet for the Eagles, thanks to Mercer, the conference rival that also lost last night. This keeps FGCU tied with Mercer for the top spot in the Atlantic Sun Conference with just one game remaining in the regular season.
A spider like that is not a spider that's glowing danger like a black widow.
The brown recluse, it's a spider you're probably familiar with living in Florida, but do you know how to spot a potentially deadly bite from the bugs? Tips from the experts coming up.
Plus, the push to legalize medical marijuana continues in Southwest Florida. One big supporter, John Morgan, talks with Fox 4 about the controversial issue and what it will take to get voters to legalize it this November.